Welcome back to the one-on-one series, everybody. I'm your host, Michael Bauer. The best in the business is back in business. Speaking of business, we got an entrepreneur in his own right. We have Will Harris, and he is part of the True North Fantasy Football, I guess, conglomerate, we could call it, right? They got a lot going on up there. But Will, how you doing tonight?
Mike, I'm doing fantastic. Thanks so much for having me on the show. Love Dynasty Rewind. Love you. It's been a minute though. Did I say something on the last live stream, or were things just getting too obnoxious in the live stream chats about Dawson Knox? You gotta shoot me straight here.
No, it's one of those things. We try to diversify our guest portfolio. You know how it goes. But look at this. You get some time devoted just to you. So that's a little more special, right? Than
Hey
just
Mike,
come-
I feel absolutely honored.
Yeah, and we're excited to have you here. Excited to have you on the network here. This is on the YouTube page, but the reason you're here is you started a company, Veridian Global, which, by the way, rocking some V gear right now. I love just the straight up Veridian logo. It's actually my favorite thing that you guys have. My wife loves it as well. The cool thing is my wife is kind of like a casual football fan, not as big into it as I am. Watches the Eagles. She's an Eagles fan because I'm an Eagles fan. And it's one of those things like if I was a Steelers fan, she would be a Steelers fan. Whatever, stuff like that. So, but she knows looking at this logo that this is football related. She knew right away, which I think is fantastic. So, Will, tell me how, why did Veridian start?
Yeah, great question, Mike. And first, I want to say thank you to you, to Dynasty Rewind, to your wife for the support from the very beginning, man. And I really appreciate that. You were one of our first orders ever, and I'll always hold that near and dear to my heart. And we appreciate you guys a lot. And the beginning of Veridian is pretty, interesting. And I'm just one part of Veridian. The co-owner, my business partner, Mark Mathick, he's kind of the beauty and the madness behind the greatness, as I like to call it, with all of our designs. Mark is extremely talented on the graphic design front, and it was a little bit earlier this time last year, kind of in peak COVID, everybody's at home. We've got a lot of downtime. That's when we started kicking it a lot too, was last year, kind of as COVID started. And, Mark and I started talking a lot. There was this Canadian fantasy football chat that Travis Seal, one of the founders of True North Fantasy Football, which I'm a part of, he began, and it really started to bring in people from the Canadian fantasy football community, from East Coast, West Coast, to from Toronto. All of us started connecting, and Mark and I really kicked it off. He loved just busting my balls in mock drafts nonstop, and I think he was like stress testing me to see if I was somebody that he could work with, if he could be, if we could be friends. And he, he's a fantastic designer. His designs and just how he's able to capture the essence of football, of sport, of really anything too. He doesn't just do football. And we started jamming. He did some designs for me. He did some designs for my best ball charity league that I do every year, the CNBBCL. And then we started to talk, and we said to each other, I think that there might be an opportunity here to get into the t-shirt business. Mike, did we know anything about t-shirts August of last year? Not a lot. Not a lot.
I knew a little bit. I had some experience.
You do. You probably
going to a screen printer, which, if you have a podcast and you want to get shirts made up, you want to do a local screen printer, and you want to spend 45 minutes at the post office on a Saturday mailing stuff out to make nothing, that's fine. At It's Harris Time on Twitter will make it so much easier for you. So much easier. But sorry, I interjected there. Please continue.
Yeah, but at that point, Mike, August of last year, you probably knew more about screen printing and the process of getting a t-shirt done. At the same time, so Mark and I are really talking. We're kind of going back and forth and kind of figuring out how we can do some business together. He, using his design skills, and then I'm sales and marketing guy. Like that's what I've done for pretty much my whole professional career. At the same time, I'm getting involved way more in the fantasy football community. I've written content, produced content for 3 or 4 years now. And there was a brand that I really, really liked, and they had a merch store. And I said, I want to support this store. They're getting some money from this. And I ordered a hoodie. I ordered a hoodie from them. And I was super, super pumped to not only support the brand, but obviously to rep that brand and wear it on shows and show my support for that brand. Well, that took about 3.5 months for me to get that hoodie. And, I'd kind of ordered at the end of winter, and we're talking, well, in Canada, that means that it's probably April. But it wasn't until 3 months later that I got that hoodie. And, even then I had reached out. It wasn't really the brand's fault at all, right? Like they were going through a third party. The third party was kind of dismissive and just like, yeah, it's going to get there when you get there. We say that this can take up to 3 months. I said, okay, cool. I'm just going to wait here patiently. I'm going to wait for my cool hoodie. Finally, that package comes. I'm so excited to open it up. I open it up, and it is just one of the shittiest faded out looking designs that I've ever. Sorry, it's not the design, but just the print. The ink didn't stick, and I'm just like, damn, man, like this is a shame. And I was still happy to get it, right? But I had reached out to the distributor that had sent me it. I said, yeah, like I waited 3 months for this, and like this is what it looks like. This is what you guys showed me on the website. And they just pretty much said, tough. And I just said, okay, it wasn't the brand's fault. And I just said, okay, well, I'm just gonna eat this. I'm still gonna wear this. And so that really stuck with me. So you combine that with the conversations that we're having with Mark and these ideas floating around. And for me, I was like, okay, if we're gonna start this company, I never want to have a customer have that experience that I had, because you get excited, you're waiting for this item to come. So it's always been a priority to me. And you've seen this firsthand, is that I have tested almost like every single piece of inventory that we have up on the site. Like I've ordered it myself. I can't say that I've ordered every single design we have, because I would be like bankrupting my own company, because we have over 700 designs, right? But when we were launching, and we were very deliberate in our launch and in building up to our launch. And I went through a whole whack of testing. I would say about 2.5 months of testing different items. And I would say, hey, did this work out? Did this piece of clothing, did this piece of apparel make sense? No, it didn't. Like it didn't look good. It didn't fit well. And our mantra from the very beginning is that we're going to have kick-ass designs, right? Like Mark takes care of that, and then premium comfort. Hey, dude, if I'm going to spend $26 on a t-shirt, I want it to feel good and look good. And if we wouldn't wear it, we're not going to sell it. And we stick to it that day. And you've been through the process with me. I say, hey, Mike, this works. This is good quality stuff. This stuff I'm not too sure about. I don't know. I haven't tested it myself. This is what I recommend. And, that's what we're in it for. We're in it for the experience of somebody getting that new t-shirt, that new hat to represent their favorite player, their favorite team, their favorite fantasy football brand. And you're proud to wear that, and you're happy to wear that. And that's, the kind of foundation that Veridian started with, and we continue that to this day, and we just continue to grow. We continue to add more player designs. We continue to grow the fantasy football collective that we have as well, with great brands such as a Dynasty Rewind. And that's what we're all about. I mean, we like to keep it simple and keep the quality high.
Yeah, you guys are doing a great job. I know I got a beanie from you guys, or what do you call them up there?
It's a toque. It's a toque, Mike. It's a toque.
That's just so weird to me. It's a beanie, okay? But I like the
Dude,
pom pom beanies are my
the
favorite.
pom pom beanies are good.
So I ordered one from Will, and he said, "Listen, this is kind of a trial. I'm gonna send it to you. If you don't like it, we'll work something out." I put it on, and it was perfect. It's the exact type of hat that I like. I like that style of toque, as it's called. I like the
There we
trucker,
go.
which we have trucker hats for the Dynasty Rewind. We have snapbacks as well. Um, we got a lot of stuff there, but the trucker hat, that's my style. So um, the one thing that I like about Veridian is, Will was able to bring the style of clothing I like. So you could, really helps you to be able to put the image that you like yourself to portray, the brand to portray. And Will's able to do that. And the hoodies that we have are Bella Canvas, which is what I was. If you bought a hoodie directly from me, you're getting the same exact quality. The shirts, the hoodies, same exact thing you would have gotten from me, from my screen printer, right to your door from Veridian. Now, obviously, I never had hats made. I never had beanies or toques made or anything else like that because, when I was getting stuff made, there's a shelf over there with some old stock on it. So if anyone needs small, I got plenty of small shirts. Um, they weren't big movers, but it's one of those things where I buy that and I'm sitting on the product. So it makes sense for me, as a brand owner to go this route too. So it's something to consider if you are a brand owner. Yeah, I could have made more money. Realistically, it takes money to keep a podcast going, but I was
It
making
does.
after shipping, I was clearing $4 to $6 a shirt. I wasn't seeing anything. It was going all right back into the podcast account to keep. We're using StreamYard right now to record. StreamYard, we use Transistor. I have it up on my screen here to
Costs money.
distribute the podcast. These things cost money. Between the two is $44 a month.
Yep.
Right there, just so you know. So if we had no sponsor, like we have Dynasty Owner, they basically pay for what we need to run. The Patreon helps to put a little bit of money in our pockets, pay the writers. And hey, in case you're ever wondering, I have never made a single dollar from the Dynasty Rewind. The Dynasty Rewind has put me at a negative. I have paid most of the gear out of my pocket that myself and the guys use. When I took my payout from the Patreon, it was $30, and I took that $30, and then I took an extra 20, and I put it right into the podcast account. When Dynasty Owner pays me every month, they pay it right to my PayPal. It's $50. I take that 50 and I put an extra 25 on top of it. So I transfer $75 over into the podcast account just to make sure the balance is nice and fluffy in case we want to buy something or invest in something.
So, yeah, and Mike, your story is very similar to a lot of brands that we work with, right? Like you've got to love what you're doing in fantasy football to do it, right? Like
Yeah.
we're not out there making millions of dollars, and that's why the collective portion of our business is so important to us because we're helping brands, right? Like if you were to go out and you've done it to get a lineup of hoodies and t-shirts, you've got that capital expenditure to actually get it done. Then you've got to get the orders in, and then you've got to ship it. What we allow brands to do is all that overhead is taken care of by us. There's no capital costs here. And then we just, hey, you make a profit off of every single item on a monthly basis. And we've paid for people's StreamYards, we've paid for Grammarly, we've paid for website upgrades. Like that's what the collective does. And we love doing that. We love seeing your brand come to life. We love to see, hey, somebody in Australia just ordered a Dynasty Rewind trucker hat, and it's really cool to see your brand kind of go globally, and it's cool for us too. Like I love seeing that, and that's a big reason why we do it. There's cost to this stuff that people don't see, right? Like these brands that you love to tune in on a Tuesday and Thursday night, websites cost money, live streams cost money, podcast equipments cost money, and we're happy to do our little part to be able to support the community in that regard.
I mean, just looking at some of the brands that you have on here too, obviously we're on here. Destination Devi is on there, which is fantastic. Yeah. Dynasty Happy Hour. I'm just scrolling here. We got the Warzone. Hey, look, a pop up. Yes, I'm already subscribed. I got the Warzone. Dynasty Vipers are on there. Fantasy Intervention, our boy Chase. The FF Face Off. Everyone likes Mike Huff and Anthony Servino. We know that. My boy Jorge over at Fantasy and Frames. Love Jorge.
Fantasy and Frames.
Go buy some, go buy some Fantasy and Frame stuff with some Dynasty Rewind stuff. You got Goat District. I know you guys love
Go.
District. P2W.
Absolutely.
Nick over at P2W. Fantastic guy.
Crushing it. Nick crushing it.
I absolutely love some of his designs as well that you guys have up there. I love the baseball shirt. You know what I mean? Like the 3/4 sleeve. I'm thinking about picking one of those up. Sons of Dynasty, Point After, Droppables crew, and of course we can't forget True North Fantasy Football. So I mean, obviously these are just some. There's way more on there, and the collective is always growing. But well, I'm sure if somebody comes to you and wants to say, "Hey, we want to get in on the collective," you obviously will make room for them. Correct?
Yeah, I mean, it is. We like to align with brands that really want to give back, that want to be part of a collective. It's no joke. Like, it's not a hokey thing. Like, this is a true collective, and we really want people that want to give back, that want to be part of the community and help this thing grow. I mean, we've Mark, even before Veridian, like, the amount of graphic design that he's done for this community is insane. Like, is absolutely insane. And we've helped a ton of brands kind of come to life and be brought to life. Full transparency, because things are so busy, our, player lineups, our team lineups, those shirts, we are in designing a lot of different things right now. We just don't have a ton of bandwidth, right? Like, and we're pretty transparent about that, but we're always open to conversation of helping out brands that are aligned with kind of our goals and what Veridian kind of stands for. So, and I'm pretty easy to get a hold of. It's Harris Time, and then Veridian Global, the handle as well. We're on every single channel. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, our website. You can contact us in a variety of different ways, and we absolutely love it. The focus again will be to continue to kind of nurture and build the collective. And then for 2021, you will see our player designs become more front and center on the site. Some of those awesome designs that we have, that Mark has kind of built out, they will be a big focus for us. Also, Fantasy Football League shirts, your Champion League shirts, your Fantasy Football Biggest Loser t-shirts, those type of things will also be front and center. So we've got some really exciting things coming down the pipeline from Veridian. So stay tuned. In the next few weeks, there will be some really exciting things happening, and some big announcements coming down the pipeline.
And Will does not sleep, so you can reach out to him anytime. He's always up.
Yeah, we're in a different time zone up here in Canada, so it's
for example, it is 11:42 p.m. on a Friday night, and we're doing this. I just randomly had to reschedule. Sorry, Will, I was just beat last night, but I'm up, and I'm like,
right.
Will's up, and I figured he would be.
Of course. Hey, man, I appreciate you taking the time on your Friday night. Where else would I rather be on a Friday night than on the Dynasty Rerun with Michael Bauer? I mean, I couldn't think of another place that I'd rather be, my friend.
There's a lot of other places, a lot of other people would rather be. We talked about Veridian.
Let's also just pause for a minute. I actually can't go anywhere right now. So this technically, Mike, is the best possible place I could be right now. So
that is true. All right, so we talked about Veridian, but you do more than just Veridian, more than just marketing t-shirts and helping people, grow their brand. You also do podcasting as well. Are you still writing?
I am, yeah. I am writing that. We've got a special project that we're doing at True North right now that I'm spearheading, and I can kind of let the cat out of the bag. It's not really a secret, but I think that the Twitter community is great. It's awesome, but sometimes I think it can be a bit intimidating for newcomers. And
do you think?
Yeah, it is. Like,
Just
when you start when you start looking at some of the tweets that the community throws out, I mean, it does look like a different language, SF and TE and
Mhm.
IDP, and it can be a bit intimidating. And when I started writing, when I started to get involved in the community, I kind of felt that way myself. And what we're doing and the project that we're working on is it's a how to, it's a 101 of how to play fantasy football. And we've invested a lot of energy, our team. I don't even know how many writers we're at. I would say that we're at like 12 or 15 right now. That
Mhm.
we built out a comprehensive plan, and we're sticking to it. We think that there's a lot of value to be had to take all of the experience of our team of writers and give that back to the community, help people get involved in the game in a non-intimidating, kind of welcoming way. And it's something that if I was to rewind 6 years ago, I would have loved to have had that resource, something friendly, something cool, and approachable type of content creators that, hey, yeah, we can now follow these people on Twitter, and they're going to engage with us. They're going to talk with us. We can tune into their podcast. So that's one thing that has been a project that we're working on, and we're going to be rolling that out before the season begins. And also doing getting prepared for the season myself. I co-host the Jet Sweep show with Josh Smokey Hell Nelson.
Love
And
love smoke.
yes, did you see his Scott Fishbowl
I did.
video? That
I
guy's
think
got
he's so full of energy. That's why I love him.
yeah, man. It's incredible to host a show with him, and we're always jamming ideas, and we're getting prepared for the season. You know how much work goes into a podcast, and we're just always constantly jamming out ideas. And I will be doing some special writing for Scott Fishbowl as well. Not official Scott Fishbowl, but just some strategy. I did a strategy piece last year on how to win the Scott Fishbowl for the Breakout Finder, which is really really exciting, really cool. And I'm going to be doing something similar to that for this year. And then for the upcoming season, you'll be able to find my weekly touchdown dance article for Monkey Knife Fight as well.
Busy man.
Little busy, brother. A little
Busy
busy.
man. It's something people don't realize how much work really goes in. A lot of people say, "Oh, doing a podcast, you just turn on a microphone and talk for 45 minutes." Well,
Oh,
what kind of microphone is it? Are you in a well-insulated room? Is your lighting okay if you're live streaming?
yeah,
You have a topic. Have you ever talked on a microphone before? Are you using it correctly? Are you talking into the top? Can people hear you okay? Is
yeah,
it directional, non-directional microphone? Where are you uploading it to? Where does it go? How do you get it there? There's a lot of things that people don't know. And those are just some of the aspects of the physical recording of the podcast. Then there's the
totally.
preparation ahead of time. There's the marketing of the podcast and of yourself afterwards. So it's really not as easy as it thinks. And there's a lot of things that I know now that would make it a lot more streamlined. Maybe I should do a series on how to do a podcast. Would be great. We could maybe look.
Dude, man, I think that would be an awesome idea. I think back to when I was starting, and you were a huge resource to me. I said, Mike, like, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. What should I do here? And you were a great resource. You took the time to kind of show me the ins and outs. And
I've been there. I've been in your shoes, and it's super frustrating. Like, I don't fucking know. A lot of trial
no,
and error, a lot of money wasted because I didn't know. I do like helping people. I like helping people get started doing a podcast, win fantasy football matchups, win championships. I just like helping people. I really do. So
I
maybe
know
I'll.
you. I know you do, brother.
So Bob is going to be listening to this for any SEO stuff. Which, if you have YouTube, SEO stands for search engine optimization. It's how your video gets seen quickly and easily on YouTube. So it's something to look into if you're thinking that your clicks or views aren't that good. Look into that. You could add him at @BobVan_IDP. He'll explain everything to you in excruciatingly painful detail.
Bob's a
But he,
beauty. Bob's an
Bob,
absolute beauty.
so I'm going to say this about Bob. He is one of the most prepared people I've ever met in my entire life. Extremely knowledgeable. I kind of stalked Bob for a little bit. So here's a little background on how Bob became the IDP guy at Dynasty Rewind. Looking for an IDP guy. I went on Twitter one day, and in the search bar, I typed in IDP. Okay, easy enough, right? I had a couple parameters. I wanted somebody, and he met most of the parameters. I wanted somebody who was non-affiliated. He was affiliated with Fantasy Six Pack. He still is. I wanted somebody with less than 1,000 followers because I wanted him to grow with us or her, whoever it was. He had 600 something, whatever. And I wanted somebody who wrote very well. So I was reading Bob's articles on a weekly basis for a long time. And I'm like, this guy's good. Like, this guy's good. But I also not only did I read some of his articles, I implemented some of his strategies too. And it worked. If you look at my IDP leagues, it has Bob's fingerprints all over it. And this is from before he was even on the team. So, and then he came through with this SEO stuff and he has all these great ideas and he's just running with it, man. He's fantastic. So, but that's it, man. That's how Bob is here. And Bob's been great.
He's the
Sean,
man.
the whole crew's been great. And I'll tell you what, man, True North has got a great crew up there. I think we should probably have Trav on the one-on-one and talk about how True North came to be, right?
You should. I mean, so funny story. Trav, I don't know exactly how it happened. Why don't you ask him how I became a member of True North? Because I can't really remember, but there was definitely a bit of stalking involved.
Were you stalking Trav or was he stalking you?
I'll let him tell the story.
Okay, I'll let him. We'll have him do it. That'd be great. Do you think that I could keep Trav to a 30-minute episode?
Not a chance. book 3 hours and hope it ends in 2.
I told him last time I was on that I'm convinced that they no longer do podcasts; they do podathons.
Yeah, they're like the Tolstoy of fantasy football podcasts. You know,
so they are the podcast for the people. We could say.
That's right. That's right. I'm more of like a Hemingway. Just hammer it out, get it done, make it nice and clean. Let's get it. You know, but Trav and Ty are like the very artistic and like it's just
okay,
free flowing and beautiful artwork as they
knows all these stats and like he doesn't have any paper in front of him. Like, where the hell are you getting this stuff? Like, is that all up here? Because that is impressive.
He is an impressive individual, man, and I just sit back and I just kind of soak it up when I'm near Ty and when I'm on a podcast with him. I just say, "Oof, geez, I'm just going to talk about Chris Herndon and Braxton Berrios a little bit and get a couple of laughs." And Ty's got me covered on some really cool stats, and also, it's not just stats; it's actually transferring, those statistics and how it impacts strategy and how these metrics matter to help you win at fantasy football, which is important, right? Because anybody, Bauer, you and I could pull up a bunch of stats and fucking regurgitate them, right? Anybody can do that, but to be able to take that and contextualize it and then give you a strategy, I mean, that's a skill.
Yeah, it is. I think we should end it on the Chris Herndon and Braxton Berrios talk, though. What do you think?
Absolutely, my brother. It was a pleasure to be here, and I'm so happy that we connected, and we are good friends now, man. We talk every single day, and I can't wait. I mean, if it wasn't COVID times, we would have probably already met, because I come down your way a few times a year, and I really look forward to meeting you and your family next time I'm down stateside.
It will make it happen, but until then, we'll just have to do virtual for now, which a lot of people have had to do, obviously, with the way things have been. But hey, listen, Will, until we talk again, why don't you tell everyone just one more time where they can find you and what you have going on?
Absolutely. So you can find me, my personal, I always caveat the follow with, if you like nature, if you like irrelevant Jets wide receivers and pictures of me and my daughter, follow me at It's Harris Time. Once in a while, I have something cool to say. And then, of course, you can check out Veridian Global, which is my company with my good friend and co-owner, Mark Mathick, at www.veridianglobal. There you will find over 600 fantasy football t-shirts, hats, and hoodies. We've got nearly 100 player designs. So like this Terry McLaurin t-shirt that you're seeing right now that I'm wearing, that's one of the designs that we have. You've got Mike's Veridian Football Collective sweater there. And, you know, we've got a bunch of great brands like Dynasty Rewind, over 40 different fantasy football brands there that you can go buy some of their merch and support them. So that's VeridianGlobal.com. You can follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. I think we even have a YouTube channel. I think that I tried something out on Pinterest, Veridian Global, for kick-ass design and premium comfort t-shirts. Come and check us out. And yeah, you'll be seeing lots of good content come out from us in the True North crew coming in the next months. And stay tuned to Veridian, man. Stay tuned to Veridian. Big things are coming in the next few weeks.
And until Father's Day, use the promo code Rewinder, 10% off of all Dynasty Rewind merchandise. So
and Veridian gear as well.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it's Dynasty Rewind stuff, Veridian gear, but not another podcast stuff, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. But
they got to pay for their live stream, right?
This is true. Yeah. But the good thing is you only pay one fee for shipping. That's it. So load that box up, do it up, right?
Treat yourself for Father's Day, because guess what? Nobody else will.
Yeah. For Father's Day, I asked for to be able to use the bathroom in peace, and my wife laughed in my face. So we're going to end there.
It's not happening.
It's not going to happen. Thank you again for joining us. Until we see you again next time, be kind, please rewind. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for listening to the Dynasty Rewind. Please make sure you subscribe, rate, and review. And as always, be kind, please rewind.